crashed out so bad I'm learning the rules of hockey actually. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sophia and I love reading. In today's video we are going to be going on a mission. I thought it could be kind of fun to do a little part 2 to my May TBR video, and that is going to be trying to finish my May TBR. I'm a little bit scared, I'm going to be totally honest. I've got so many books to get through. It's currently May 22nd. So we have a week to get through as many books as possible. I do fear I've bitten off more than I can chew, but let's see how we go. Hello everybody! First update of the video alert. The first book that I've decided to read in this video on my mission to finish my May TBR is Collide by Balcabra. You know I had to do it to him. You know I had to do it to him. A hockey romance in hockey season? Yeah! So, I'm really enjoying this book. I have screamed a few times. I have also written myself notes because I really struggle to put my feelings into words. I've written down basically everything that I'm going to say, including the plot, because otherwise I'll be sitting here for 10 minutes trying to give you a plot summary. The premise of Collide by Balcabra. Summer, who is our main female character, is in her final year of sports psychology undergrad, and she's desperate to get into this like really rigorous, really selective master's program. Now her supervisor, who also happens to be on the board, the academic board that selects the students that are eligible for this program, she kind of dictates to Summer that she needs to do her project on the hockey team, more specifically the hockey captain, Aiden Crawford. Now, how does Aiden get into this situation, I hear you asking? He is the hockey team captain, if I didn't already say that, and he took the fall for a catastrophic hockey party. He took the blame, the full brunt of the blame, and now he's having to do community service in the form of helping Summer out with her project. This evolves into a tentative friendship. There's a lot of sexual tension. Their relationship is very sexually charged, mostly on Aiden's part, although Summer does. She's kind of just started to return those feelings, although she refuses to acknowledge them. Why? Daddy issues. So her dad was a successful hockey player and he and Summer's mum had her really early on in his career, so he really didn't prioritize his family, and Summer holds a lot of resentment about that because he was never really a good dad. I think there's a little bit of something else that's happened in there as well that we haven't learnt yet, but she holds a lot of resentment towards her dad. She also holds a lot of resentment towards her younger sisters, who were born quite a bit later when her dad wasn't as deep in his career, so he was actually able to help raise them. Hello. Yeah, I have a feeling there might be a little bit more to it, or maybe there's not. I mean, Miss Girl is valid to be holding a grudge, to be perfectly honest. Her dad doesn't seem like the nicest guy. All of that aside, I just finished reading a great jealousy scene. So Aiden took Summer out basically like to act as her wingman, because he was kind of like, you need to get some. You're so wrapped up in your academics, you're writing papers until like midnight every night, you're not getting out and about, you need to get some. And so when one of the basketball players showed some interest in her, what did Aiden do? He got his knickers in a knot. Yes, he got very upset. And it was great. It was great. It was great. Maybe I'm a little bit toxic for that, but it was great. God forbid a girl like a jealous man. And if I'm being perfectly honest, that whole scenario kind of sums up Aiden. He is always going to be trying to do right by his friends. He's very much a golden retriever. He will wag his tail till his heart's content. But as soon as you take his toy away, that's one upset golden retriever. And that's kind of all there is to him, but I love him. I love a golden retriever man so much. Summer, on the other hand, she's very much the grumpy of their dynamic. She's a little more complex as well. She's definitely dealing with some preconceived ideas about hockey players thanks to her dad. So there's a lot of like mental back and forth going on. She's also got an ex-boyfriend who is also vying for a spot in this master's program. There's literally one spot available, so it's like proper head-to-head kind of stuff. But I don't trust him. He keeps helping her with this research paper about the hockey players and he gives her really harsh feedback. I think he's trying to set her up. Because they're both going for the same position. I think he's trying to sabotage her, and I think he's going to be the real villain of this book. So is Collide a masterpiece? No. But am I having a lot of fun with it? Absolutely. It's very much akin to Icebreaker. I had the time of my life with Icebreaker. Like, I fully acknowledge that book is trash. It's trash, but it's so bad that I love it, and so just like every trope that I absolutely love encapsulated in one. And I acknowledge it's not a masterpiece, but I had a lot of fun with it, and this one's making me feel a little bit similar. There were a few little continuity issues that I picked up on. Like Summer was late to a university class and she had to sit down in the last possible seat available, and then not even a paragraph later one of the hockey guys who she's kind of friends with comes in and takes the empty seat next to her. And I was just kind of like, it just broke my immersion a little bit. Like, it's not a huge thing, I'm over it. I'm really enjoying the book and I'm absolutely over it, but it just took me out of the story for a minute because I was like, I thought she was the last one in class. Where did that come from? I thought she was late. Why is he late? Anyway, I'm over it. I'm having a great time with Collide and I'm really excited to go and keep reading it. I stopped myself from continuing to read it because I think they're about to kiss. I think the tension is about to be broken a little bit because the tension... I love tension so much. I think it's about to be broken, so I had to stop myself and come and make this update before I lose my mind. You guys, I just figured out how to fix my exposure. I've been struggling with my exposure on this camera for so long and I just fixed it. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. I'm so smart and beautiful. And I'm so smart and beautiful and I'm gonna go keep reading my book. Hello everybody. Let me do this. That looks better. That looks much better. I have an update for you. I finished reading Collide by Bal Cabra and it's made me actually have a big wobbly and a big crash out because this book called me single in about 50 different languages. And it's made me crash out really bad. So bad that I went on a deep dive on the Montreal Canadiens and am a little bit obsessed. And then this morning I woke up really upset because I'm never going to be a whack. And if that doesn't explain to you how much I enjoyed this book, I don't know what will. But I'm going to settle on giving it a 4-star because, and I have my reasons, I adored the characters so much. Aiden and Summer. Aiden, genuinely definition of a golden retriever. Nathan Hawkins, carbon copy. No joke. Loved him. He was very goofy, very fun, like stuck up for his friends all the time. Just incredible guy. But when it came to actually being a little bit more serious and like taking a step back and taking some accountability and some responsibility, he did that. He ate it up. Summer as well. She's our little like misunderstood grump. I don't quite know why all the characters kept calling her Sunshine because she was not particularly sunny, but she was great nonetheless. I really liked her character. And I really enjoyed watching her mend her relationship with her dad and really navigate all of that drama, and also watching her learn to trust Aiden was really nice. With that being said, watching her learn to trust all the hockey guys, to be honest, all of them were so funny. I love the cast of characters in this book. I think that's always the best bit of a college hockey romance, I feel like, or a college romance, is the side characters and the group of friends. They're always so much fun. Where it loses a star is there was too much sex, there was too much spice. Like, just about every scene between Summer and Aiden eventuated in spice, and I would have just liked to see more fluff and some more intimate moments without it eventuating in smut. So I think that would have been a welcome addition to the book. It also kind of felt like it dragged on a little bit too long, or not that it dragged on a little bit too long, but that it was a bit overwritten. I think it could have been cut down maybe 50 pages to make the story a bit more concise, and there was a lot of just like short scenes here and there and everywhere that didn't necessarily add anything to the book, which, love a fluffy little moment, but when the fluffy little moment always ends up in spice. The rest of it, so sweet. I'm still giving it a 4-star. I still really enjoyed this book. I would still absolutely recommend it. If you loved Icebreaker, if you love Elle Kennedy's hockey books, I would 1000% recommend it. I would. I absolutely would. Because I had a great time. Oh my god. Oh, it made me crash out so bad, I can't even lie. The amount of hockey edits on my TikTok right now. Crashed out so bad I renewed my Disney Plus subscription so I could watch the ESPN games. Crashed out so bad I'm learning the rules of hockey, actually. morning everybody, it's intro Sophia coming back at ya because I finished this book last night. This is Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes, which is basically just a book that explains how to write a romance arc, whether it be the main plot or the subplot. To give a one sentence review, it's a little more than a beat sheet, but I don't think it's going to become a holy grail for me. I do have notes written down once again because I get so sidetracked without them, but one of my sneaky little goals for this year was to start writing a book, which is crazy, I know, but I've had this sports romance interconnected standalone series, but I just want to write the first book first. Okay, let's calm down. But I've had this idea swirling around in my head for probably 3 years now, and I want to get it out. I have dabbles in writing before, mostly just like one-shots on Wattpad that are never gonna see the light of day, but I want to actually understand how to write a good book. I want to educate myself. I want to understand how to hit all the beats, how to get from one beat to another, how to actually do my characters justice. So here we are. I do have a couple of other books that are about writing, which I will hopefully read over the next couple of months. I am just a little bit of a perfectionist, if I haven't made that abundantly clear. So yeah. Romancing the Beat did help me. It outlined what key scenes I need to include when in the timeline of my book. Gwen did also include little like examples of actions and feelings that'll be happening at those certain beats as well, which was pretty helpful. So in conclusion, to wrap this all up, I do think Romancing the Beat was a worthwhile read for me. I did annotate it so that I can go back and pick out the key bits that stuck with me that I think will be helpful when I come to writing and drafting. But I would say that if you're not an amateur, probably not worth your time. It's a tiny book, didn't have all that much info in it. You can probably find all the info for free online. It's just, it helped me that this was a really concise little guidebook. So yeah, I'm not gonna give this one a star rating because it's so tiny and I'm not like reading it for enjoyment, I'm reading it for self-improvement, I guess. So I don't know, worthwhile if you're trying to find your feet, but probably not if you're already a bit established and know what you're doing. Very, very glad to have a book off my May TBR though. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I'm kind of torn between The Favourites by Lane Fargo and A Fate Inked in Blood, doing a reread of that. So we'll have to see. This is the next book that I'm reading, The Favourites by Lane Fargo. I'm currently 76 pages in. I'm on chapter 16. This one is told in a similar way to Daisy Jones and the Six. We have quite short scenes from the very beginning of their career, accompanied by interviews with the key people in their life at that time, which is really cool. I'm really enjoying the format that this is written in. I do think listening to the audiobook would be better, but my Audible subscription ran out and I'm not paying for another month of it. So I have the audiobook sitting in my Audible, but because of the Audible rules, I can't listen to it when I don't have an active subscription. Really frustrating. Jeff, I don't like you. I've never liked you actually. Anyway, back on track. The Favourites by Lane Fargo. This follows Katarina and Heath. Kat is destined for the Olympic Stadium. She's a figure skater. It's all she's ever wanted. She absolutely idolizes Shayla Lynn, who is a 2 times gold medalist at the Olympics for, it's actually called like ice dancing or like, I don't know, ice dancing I think. It's not figure skating, but it's very similar. Absolutely idolizes Shayla Lynn, so much so that she takes up figure skating and she drags this poor little unsuspecting Heath, her friend who she met at the ice rink, who was originally playing hockey and kind of diverted to figure skating because Kat wanted to chase that dream so badly. She drags him along for the ride. Where this book kind of starts, they're preparing for nationals. They're stealing her brother's car to drive to Chicago, I think it was, to compete in the nationals. They perform, you know, okay. Kat gets hurt a little bit and it's not their best performance. But when she gets recognized for her talent by Shayla Lynn, this 2 times gold medalist Olympic athlete, Olympic figure skater, Kat freaks out because Shayla invites them to come and study and practice and train at her huge grand facility out in Los Angeles. Now, something you need to know about Kat and Heath is that they don't come from any money. They've barely got $5 to their name. Going out to Los Angeles would be the dream, especially for Kat. The dream for Kat. Heath is a little bit reluctant. He doesn't really want to leave his comfortable little bubble, but for the sake of Kat, he's going to do it. They are in a relationship. They're also in a partnership in figure skating. So for the sake of Kat's dreams, he's going to put his anxieties to the wayside. So Kat sells her deceased mother's ring. It's the last thing that she has to remind her of her mother, but she's so determined to chase this dream and she's so determined to make it work that she sacrifices that bit of sentimental jewelry and they chase their dreams out in Los Angeles. And that's where I'm up to. I don't know if I did a terrible job in telling you about the plot of this book because I didn't write any notes other than the fact that Heath is reluctant and Kat is dead set on chasing her dreams. It's really interesting. It's not something I would typically pick up because I love a fun little romance or a fantasy, as we well know. But The Favourites is interesting. It's definitely similar to Daisy Jones in the way that it's recounting like their whole journey. It's kind of told a little bit like a documentary. I think that's what it's trying to emulate, is a documentary interspersed with flashbacks of the actual journey to wherever they end up. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. Like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not hooked on it or anything, so I'll keep you guys updated. We'll see how it goes, but so far I'm liking it, I think. Hello everybody, it's currently Friday the 30th of May. I've been at work all morning and literally just about to go visit my pop for dinner, but I'm not sleeping until this book is done. Currently 1:30 in the afternoon. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. I am not sleeping until it's done. I'm 291 pages in, chapter 56. I'm probably maybe like 2/3 of the way in to The Favourites by Lane Fargo. The reason I want to finish it before the day ends is because I would love to try and squeeze in one more book. I would love to squeeze in Lost and Lassoed, and it's such a short book that I'm hoping I can just dedicate all of tomorrow to sitting down and reading it. But The Favourites by Lane Fargo. I wholeheartedly understand why everyone is frothing this book, why everyone is obsessed with it. The drama, oh my god, just the drama. It's actually insane. Like, I don't want to say too much to spoil it, but the amount of times that like Kat and Heath get into it, and then the amount of times they switch partners, and then, minor spoiler, Heath disappeared for like 3 years out of the blue, and Kat ended up having to partner with Bella, her best friend's brother, because Bella and her brother Garrett were like this top figure skating team. They're Shayla Lynn's kids, like they're expected to be great. I don't want to give you a full recap of the plot because this is a non-spoiler vlog, but that gives you an idea of the kind of dramatics, the amount of gossip, the like backstabbing, the manipulation. I'm eating it up. I hate it, but I'm also eating it up. It's like watching a train wreck, and it's great. Yeah. I'm really enjoying this book. I'm loving the way that it's told. It's written in chronological order, which is great, but because it's kind of a retrospective interview style, Kat is telling her past to us through this story. So she drops little tidbits of like information and like hints as to what's going to happen in the future, and it just keeps you like wanting more and more and more and wanting to keep reading. And the like interview excerpts kind of thing, so like this is Kat's story and then there's an interview excerpt or like magazine excerpts or commentary that was going on at the time of when this chapter took place. This stuff is juicy. Oh my god, we get like headlines from the time and what the commentators were saying at the time, but we also get interviews with the characters who were involved in Kat's past in the present, and it adds so much more depth to the story, and it really makes you want to keep reading and keep eating it up because you know that there's something really juicy gonna happen soon. The characters, they do piss me off a little bit, but they are real people, like allegedly real people, you know, supposed to be real people, so they're flawed. Kat can be quite stubborn and she's very, there's a word, I can't think of it, but focused. Like she's got her eye on the prize, nothing's gonna get in her way kind of thing. And Bella's very much the same, her best friend, but it just adds to the kind of realness of the story, I feel like. And Heath annoys me. Controversial take. He might redeem himself by the end of the book, but he annoys me. Like disappearing for 3 years on your girlfriend. Granted, they did have a huge like blow up argument beforehand and Heath overheard some really bad things, but can we sit down and have a conversation for 2 seconds? I would probably not ever take that man back, and he's also keeping some secrets from Kat as well. I really hope we find out about that before the end of the book. There's something that Heath is keeping under wraps that happened during those 3 years, and I'm gonna be pissed off if I don't find out because I'm nosy and I want to know about it. It's so fun, and the way it's told, and the chapters, that's another thing. The chapters are like 3-4 pages max. Oh God, God forbid a girl loves a short chapter. Honestly, I love a short chapter so much. It makes the reading experience so easy and fun because it's like, oh, I've only got 2 pages until the next chapter, you know? The next chapter's only 3 pages. Oh, I'll read that quickly before I go to bed or whatever. I'm gonna go read this in the car for at least an hour. I think by the time we come home, it'll be dark, so I probably can't do any reading then, but I'm not sleeping till this book's done. Hello everybody, it's the next day. We survived. Hello. I did in fact stay up till midnight last night. I got some reading done at my pops, but it was a late night, let's just say that. But I finished The Favourites by Lane Fargo. Written myself a little review so when I get sidetracked. I think I'm gonna settle on a 4-star. And we'll get into just why. I really liked that by the end of the book, Kat had gained a lot of self-confidence and stopped relying on external validation and gratification to kind of be happy and content within herself. This did also make her a more tolerable character. She was much more pleasant to read about because she was less stubborn and also more aware of how her unhealthy determination to achieve this Olympic gold medal was also affecting those around her and kind of making her not very nice to be around. So by the end of the book, loved Kat's character. I felt very satisfied with her character arc and her plot through the book. Heath matured a little bit, which was necessary. He matured a little bit. He learned to talk through his feelings rather than bottle them up and run, which was a big issue for them in their relationship. I still didn't love Heath's character and his and Kat's relationship by the end of the book. I think their relationship throughout the book was just so incredibly toxic, so hot and cold, so on and off, just oh my God, there was so much drama that went down that me personally, I would not be able to forgive someone for. So seeing them repeatedly go back to each other after they've like properly hurt each other, I just couldn't really get behind. I'm not a big fan of, I don't even like 3rd act breakups in books. Like I would much rather the climax be something external to the characters that they have to face together. So the fact that they were so hot and cold and so toxic and just so awful to each other, but then it took like nothing for them to get back together, I really didn't like that dynamic. And this is gonna sound contradictory, but I do think the ending of the book suited all of the characters. While it might not be my favorite, I think it suited the characters and like each of their needs, and it kind of, I don't know, it was a good ending. I just didn't, I don't know how to phrase this, I just didn't love all of the character relationships that it took to get there, if that makes any kind of sense. I don't know how to explain it without spoiling the entire thing, but yeah. And then I just said in my notes that I didn't love the toxicity and the back and forth between Kat and Heath, but I said I guess it suited them, which, I mean, I guess it did. That's how the characters were written. I just would have preferred that they weren't that way. I don't know, that's just my preference. It's not detracting from the book like too much. I still gave it a 4-star. I still really enjoyed the plot and the highs and lows of ice dance and getting to the Olympics and competing in like national competitions and international competitions and like Grand Prix. In conclusion, to wrap this all up, because I've been talking about this book for so long, I would absolutely recommend The Favourites. I need to remember that it's not it's not a romance book. There's gonna be ups and downs. There's gonna be potentially, like, it was a happy ending, but there's gonna be maybe not the most character connection development in a relationship in this sort of book, because it's so heavily focused on the external plot and their drive for success and their goal of a medal, you know? But I gave it 4 stars. I would absolutely recommend it. The plot was really interesting. You can tell Lane Fargo did her research and like based it on past events and like the proper I mean, I don't know, I'm not an expert, but you can tell she did her research. Now, moving on, I started a book this morning, which I need to finish by tonight. I started Lost and Lassoed. Lassoed? We're gonna have this debate every time. Me and myself are gonna have this debate every time. I don't know how to say it. Lost and Lassoed. Yes, by Lila Sage. I started this one this morning. I got 104 pages in, which is chapter 16. Like, probably a third of the way through the book this morning. I woke up so early. I always, because I had to get up yesterday at 5:30 for work, the next day I always wake up stupid early. So I was up at like 6 this morning. After going to bed at midnight. Hello? I'm tired. But I read about 100 pages of this one this morning in bed. It was great. Lost and Lassoed follows Teddy and Gus, who we've seen in the first 2 books in the series. Gus is the eldest brother of all the siblings that the books follow, and Teddy is Gus's youngest sister's, his little sister's best friend. So that's the relationship between the 2 of them. They despise each other, hate each other's guts. Gus and Teddy have just really hurt each other at some point. I think it was maybe a hookup that maybe went wrong, or there was some miscommunication or something. I don't know. But they hate each other is what I'm trying to say. And Gus has a little daughter. She's adorable. Riley, she's 6 years old. She's lovely. She started living full-time with Gus while her mum Cam and Gus have a great co-parenting relationship. They absolutely nail it. They're great friends, and they just want to do the best for Riley, so they manage being parents really, really well. But Cam, with the support of Gus and his family and everyone, has moved to the big city near them. I can't remember what it was. She's moved to the big city to pursue her lawyer dreams, which means Riley has been left with Gus full time, and Gus, being the kind of second in command, second in charge of Rebel Blue Ranch, is really struggling to kind of balance taking care of the ranch, looking after it, kind of stepping into his dad's footsteps as running it, and being a good parent to Riley. So where does Teddy come into all of this besides them hating each other? Within the first little bit of the book, Teddy actually loses her job. She's very passionate about fashion. She loves sewing. It's like her favorite thing in the world, just like creating clothes and making outfits. And she works at a little boutique in Meadowlark, the town this is set in, which has unfortunately shut down. The owner is moving out of town. She wants to be closer to her grandchildren, so she's just like, hey, sorry, you're out of a job. But Teddy was just kind of like, well, there goes another step backwards, because the whole theme in this book is that Teddy is feeling like everyone around her is setting up their lives and is really progressing in life and finding success and settling down. Her best friend Emmy has just gotten engaged, I think. Even her dad, who was previously a single dad, is now like seeing someone. Teddy just feels like she's being left behind, and losing her job makes her feel like she's being left behind even more, because she's got another thing not going for her. So Teddy's unemployed and Gus's family kind of comes up with a bright idea that, hey, maybe you should get Teddy to be Riley's kind of part-time babysitter. Maybe she could live with you for a couple of days a week, which is what ends up happening. Teddy's dad also, I don't know, I think he's just getting older and he's just getting, you know, more and more health issues. So Teddy is like a little bit torn about leaving him at home, but ultimately she ends up moving out to Gus's for a few days a week and spending the rest of the week with her dad. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm up to. Her and Riley are having a great time tearing around Rebel Blue. Gus's feelings are changing ever so slightly. They properly hate each other, okay? Like, they could not have a conversation without tearing the other one down. But like their feelings for each other are gradually changing, like ever so slightly. Like they're being civil with each other and neither of them knows what to do with that. I'm gonna try and finish this book today. I've got, I guess, like about 200 and something pages. 200 and, oh, is that, what is that? Read on for exclusive bonus content. Oh, hell yeah. 311 pages. So about 200 pages left. That's manageable. I think I could do that. It's currently almost 1:30. So like if I just lock in for a couple of hours, I'll be able to finish this easily. That's the update. Finished the favorites. Started Lost and Lassoed. Really enjoying it so far. Actually no, I am really enjoying it actually. I was gonna say I'm not enjoying it as much as Swift and Saddle, but I definitely am. Could we be heading for a 5-star? Potentially. Hello everybody, it's a little bit later. I'm up to page 206. That's kind of impressive, of Lost and Lassoed. I've been sat here for like 3 hours, 2.5 hours. Anyway, page 206, chapter 29. I just had the thought, this is the first romance book that I read front to back since reading Romancing the Beat, and I'm picking up on the beats. And it's like making my reading experience so strange because like I remember from Romancing the Beat, there's like a couple of scenes leading up to the first like, oh, I'm actually really liking this person moment, and then something douses it out, douses those flames. And that was Teddy and Gus warming up to each other and like being like, hey, you're actually not that bad, I'm kind of liking you, like I'm enjoying your company around at the house, I'm enjoying having conversation with you. And then a vet came out and was like checking out all the horses and whatever, and Teddy was flirting with the vet to apparently, hello, to apparently get better treatment for her dad's horse, or her horse. So she was flirting with the vet, and Gus saw and he was like, got in a real mood about it, which then affected Teddy. And then, you know, a couple moments later, they build back up to liking each other. We have our first spicy scene. And then it is, oh my God, the flames, it was hot. And then it got doused in cold water. And I'm not going to tell you by exactly what, because it was like a moment, but it got doused in cold water. But this time around, they're not angry at each other. They're conquering this doused in hot water together, which is really nice, really fun. But it's like, oh my God, maybe Romancing the Beat taught me something. That's crazy. My battery has a weird symbol on it. I'm worried I'm about to run out of charge. But I was like, oh my God, I'm recognizing things. It was just a strange moment. But in terms of the actual book, I'm really loving it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having the time of my life. The first spicy scene. Lila Sage knows how to write her smart. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna go keep reading because something just happened. That cold water dousing out the spicy scene. I think we're about to get a little bit of fluff to warm things back up. So I'm gonna keep reading and put my camera on the charger because it's got a really weird symbol that I don't know what it means. But I'll catch up to you probably when I finish Lost and Lassoed. I finished Lost and Lassoed at a much more respectable time of 8:30. Thank you very much. As soon as I finish filming this clip, I'm going for a shower and I'm climbing into bed. I'm giving this book 5 stars. I'm doing it. I'm giving it 5 stars. Oh, I don't know how Lila does it, but she just manages to unpack so much within the short span of her books. This book was 300 pages. The bonus chapter that I thought was bonus content just ended up being her talking about how the people around her inspire the characters in her book. But that girl is a magician. Lila, I mean Teddy's great too, but oh my God, I'm always gonna fall flat on my face, head over heels for a caretaking scene, especially when it's hair washing. Oh my God. There's just something about the intimacy and the softness of it, and I think this really hammers home my point from Collide in that there wasn't enough soft intimacy. There wasn't enough fluff, enough soft moments where it was all spice. This book, 2 spicy scenes, I think, like 2, but maybe 3, but the third one was in the epilogue, so it was really short. So 2. But every other moment between Teddy and Gus, Lila made it count so much. The domestic scenes, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. The domestic scenes between Gus folding his laundry in the lounge room while Teddy reads her book on the couch, and they're just having a quiet conversation about their day. I love it so much. I love it. Kind of related to Teddy a lot on the like whole everyone else around me in my life seems like they're a little bit more ahead of me. I've been feeling that a lot recently actually, and it was really nice kind of, I don't know, just kind of being in her head and watching everything play out okay, which obviously it's gonna be, it's a romance book, but it was just kind of nice. I love this series, what the hell, and I'm so excited for Wild and Wrangled. This book left on a big cliffhanger for Wild and Wrangled, and oh my God, it also looks like it might be the biggest one, the thickest one in the series, which is kind of exciting. I want to dive into it right now, but it's June tomorrow. I need to start my June TBR. I have plans for it as well. I want to do a TBR takedown episode. I've got a couple of books in mind. To recap, if I had to rate Romancing the Beat, I would probably give it a 3 star. Pretty bang average. I found some things useful, but it was also a lot of filler. Collide by Belle Carver, 4 stars. 4 stars for the characters alone, honestly. I loved the characters so much. The plot was great too, but the characters just won me over so much. Felt like I was reading about my friends. The Favourites by Lane Fargo, 4 stars for the complete opposite reason, to Collide. The plot of The Favourites was fantastic. And then Lost and Lassoed, finishing May off with a bang, I guess. I'm giving this book 5 stars. Crazy, I know, I'm giving it 5 stars. I'm honestly, like, just as a reader, really proud of Lila for her books. Like, I don't know her, but I'm really proud of her because reading Done and Dusted to reading the next 2 in the series, it feels like she's grown so much as an author, and it's so cool to watch. I think that's kind of all I have to say. Teddy and Gus, I just want to keep scrolling about them, and the whole Rebel Blue world, everyone on the branch, the setting on, like, what is it, the Rocky Mountains in, I don't know what state, Wyoming? It was great. It was great. And all the cowboys are probably liberals, progressive, and just lovely. Oh my god. A girl could only dream, right? Anyway, I'm gonna finish this video off here. I had a great time filming this vlog. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I would love to have you here. My Instagram and my Goodreads are always down in the description as well if you want to check them out. Commenting does actually help me out a lot. It really boosts a video, so if you want to leave a cheeky little comment, feel free. No pressure, but feel free. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching once again. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.